And we rolling in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Real Spit with Spitty. I'm your host, Spitty Will. If this is your first time to the channel, appreciate you for pulling up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. And if you like what we talking about, like the video, comment, all that good stuff. Keep us in that algorithm. And without further ado, I want to introduce my guest for the day. Pulled up on Real Spit. I got my boy Too Deep, the Southern President.
What it
What's
do?
up,
What it
bro?
do, man? Much love, much love.
Man, much love. You already know, bro. Shit, we go back, man, many moons ago, bro.
Man, probably at this point it might be over a decade,
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
for
for
sure,
sure,
for
for
sure.
sure, bro. And you know, man, it's always a treat when players meet.
Always,
You know,
always.
and it's always good to see you, bro. Every time I see you, every time we link up, you just always seem to be in a good mood and a good vibe, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I try to pride myself on it because I'm just, I really be grateful for the opportunity to do what I love to do on
Man.
my own terms.
Yes, sir.
And so when I meet up with you, every day we just trying to take advantage of being a creative and being able to just give out that creative energy.
Nah, for sure. And I say that all the time, bro. Like, it's such a blessing to be able to wake up and do what I love to do every single day and be working and striving just towards being better, being a better man, being a better businessman, being a better creative, just all the way across the board. And I can appreciate the fact that, and I know you can, feel this too. The fact that we doing what we want to do on our own terms
Facts.
and don't have to be nobody else,
Facts.
don't have to transform into something else. And even if it's, I'll speak for me on this part, even if it's the slow roll, the slow rise, I don't mind it because I haven't had to compromise, bro.
That's real. That's real. To be honest, to piggyback off what you just said, I think that's why I've always been drawn to y'all's movement with Dirty Glove because y'all can appreciate an underdog.
Yeah.
So for the majority of my career, when it comes to whether it's music or anything that I've been tied into, I always feel like I got a chip on my shoulder. I'm the underdog. I'm talented. I got to prove over and over again because I don't want a person to be like, oh, just because this motherfucker over here got the big market and the big budget, that they better or nah, they just got a
Yeah.
better push.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind it taking longer for the world to see because I ain't got to answer to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be fake. I ain't gonna water down my content or my creative identity to please nobody. It don't matter how long it take.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's how I've always felt myself. And then my team, the DGB team as well, shout out Hayes, shout out Zip, shout out Dre, Long Live Pooh, shout out Mikey Nike, you know what I mean? Shout out, just everybody who's just been a part of this Dirty Glove movement, over the years. But, I came in the game as a person who I've always rooted for the underdog and I've always push to, help give. I say I work to give the voiceless a voice.
Facts.
And, from when I came in the game, writing for the Source magazine, even before that, writing like on other blogs before I even connected with the DGB team,
Mhm.
and then interning at the Source, and then eventually writing for the Source full time, and all that. I was always pushing for the underdog. When I went and worked at the record labels, got my first job at Geffen, I remember like the artists that people might not have been paying attention to as much, I would
Mhm.
gravitate to them more, trying to give them as much attention and as much game as possible. And that's just how I've just always been my whole career. And I've always moved with a chip on my shoulder because, I like to start things from the ground up. So with us building up DGB, it was always, at least like the powers that be, maybe not seeing our vision and not giving us the opportunities that I wish, would have been granted to us, but us just working hard and rocking with who was rocking with us and building our shit to where, I mean, it's
But
amazing
that's
to me.
what y'all always did. That's
Yeah.
what I just to before we even get further, so people get some understanding. I started rapping in the era probably right along the same timeline as, well, I ain't gonna say started, because I started way before that. I was a teen doing this.
Yeah.
But I started picking up a lot of momentum and coming to the A maybe like maybe 12 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, because everybody was like, Atlanta is where you gotta go
Yeah.
to get to the next step. This was that time in music before this internet shit was so popping. And Dirty Glove was blogging, and I believe I came down here with 007.
Okay, yeah. Shout
My
out
guy
007.
DJ 007. And you know, I met up with Burn One, and I met you guys, you know, all the people you just mentioned, Hayes, Zip, you know, all these guys. And they heard my music and they had embraced it. And they was like, oh shit, you from Memphis? Like, this shit hard.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that don't know the history, two of my most notable projects, No More Mr. Nice Guy 1 and 2,
Yes, sir.
they co-signed the project to the point that their stamp was also on the artwork.
Yeah.
That's how much Dirty Glove was consistent with what I was doing at the time. They was blogging it. They was pushing it out. It wasn't even about money. It was just about, bro, I love what you doing. And likewise, I love what they was doing. And it also led to, you know, a lot of other relationships that I got from people that they fool with.
Yeah.
Because it just was this community of artists who was dope, but, you know, didn't have the big budgets, but man, hella talented. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. That blog era, bro. That was a time, bro.
And you could tell who was working because you would see him. You'd be like, oh, I seen you at South by Southwest. I seen you at A3C. I seen you in the studio with Corey Mo. I see you over, like, niggas who was working, niggas, you know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And that was a time, bro. Like, I remember, you know, being introduced to your music, you know, through DJ Burn One. You know, shout out him. That No More Mr. Nice Guy. Like, that project was so dope. That Married to the Game, like that joint, bro. I remember like you had like Don Juan and you
in
know,
the video.
Yeah, bro.
Don Juan in the video smoking blunts, nigga.
Yeah, bro.
We shot the video at a players ball in a mansion, Memphis, Tennessee. All the big OG players was there. For people who don't know, you can Google this. And I was there. Had a couple of my chicks with me at the time, you know what I'm saying? And it was just dope because I was one of the youngest at the time that was doing this. I'm 20, 24, 25, kicking straight pimping. And they like, who is this young cocky motherfucker kicking this shit like this? Because at this time, like, and I'm happy we doing this interview because I want to give we gonna put a lot of shit in perspective. And this time, a lot of niggas weren't kicking this old pushing P ass shit that you hear right now.
Yeah.
This shit, I remember me and 007 used to argue because they would be like, you just too pimping. You know, like how people gon' get it. And I'm like, I'm gonna give them some player shit, but I know how to tread the line in my artistry and the player shit. Yeah. So now when I see so many artists and this whole concept of I'm pushing P this, P that, I'm like, wow, like I've been saying this shit I don't know how long. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's cool now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, it's kind of like Wiz Khalifa with the weed raps. You know, like where I remember when I was working at Warner Brothers, and this was around 2007, 2008 or something like that. And he was pushing his first project, or his second mixtape, Prince of the City 2, and he had that song Say Yeah. But all his raps was weed raps. And of course we had Snoop and we had Cypress Hill and stuff like that. But coming into that blog era, folks was like, man, like you talking too much
about the weed.
You know what I'm saying? So
he wasn't on no gangster shit. He was just like, hey man, I'm cool. I'm smoking weed. I'm having good energy. I'm fucking with hoes. Yeah. No one was really. And then he was from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Bro, so I'm finna give Wiz his flowers. Yeah. What he was doing at that time was monumental because no one else was trying to come in the game the way that he came in the game. Right. He built a whole generation of motherfuckers coming behind him like, well, I'm on some hipster, cool, weed smoking. Like, it wasn't a lane for that. Niggas was either trying to be gangster, biggest dope boy of the year. Yeah. Niggas was swag rapping. Niggas was on crunk shit. Like, niggas was just riding the wave or whatever little shit would pop off. And when that blog era come, Now you get to blossom into the Whizzes, the Crits, the Smoke Dizzers,
Yep.
the motherfucking just so many artists. Even J.
Currency.
Cole before he blew.
Yeah.
Currency. It was so many nigga. I remember when Kendrick dropped Section 80.
Yeah.
It was a lot of niggas that round this time was just bubbling, trying to figure it out. And some of them grouped together and they figured it all the way out. And some of them just not really getting they just do.
Yeah, no, for sure. So in the same respects to what you talking about, you came with your message and you came kicking that P, and this is after Ball and G. You know,
Most definitely.
shout out to Orange Mound.
Most definitely. Orange Mound. Yeah.
Yes,
Man, my biggest influence.
Come
Go
on.
ahead. Go
Tila.
ahead. Oh,
You
man,
know,
come on.
that's
Love
another
Tila.
one. You know what I mean?
Love
Coming
Tila.
down that Bellevue. You know,
Oh man, I'm trying to tell you, leaned up, screened up in search of the mean chew.
Man,
Hey, go ahead. I'm you taking
and I
me
got
back.
this Memphis with me, and I got this pimping.
Come
with me.
on, man.
But you in the same respect of what we talking about with Wiz came with your message, with your vibe, but this was after Ball and G, Tila, you know, certain artists was coming, you know, talking about that P shit, but it wasn't as popular. It wasn't, you know what I
It
mean?
was
Like
not.
people were scared to tap into some of those different subjects.
Oh, I'm so happy you went here.
And you was able to create, like, that was dope. That was what was dope about the blog era, was that whatever niche you were in, there's a community online for that.
That will support that niche.
Yeah.
And so that's really what I had always knew in my head. I'm a creative, right? A lot of people may not know this, but middle school, high school, I went to a creative and performing arts school. My mama wouldn't let me go to Melrose in my hood in Orange Mound because she was like, "You talented." I was the kid that drew in class all day, wrote poetry, raps in class all day, carried a thesaurus and a fucking dictionary with me because I wanted to know big words to put in my raps.
Yeah.
This is all I really gave a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? I was just good in school because I was good in school, nigga witty. But far as like what I wanted to do, all this was how I was built. So me looking at the game, my influences was, like you said, the Ball and G's, the Tilas, the Kingpin, Skinny Pimps, the 3-6 Mafia. But I say them because, man, coming from my hood, growing up from Orange Man and growing up in Memphis in general, making easy money, pimping hoes in style was literally like, this was implemented in me early.
Yeah.
So when nobody winning but the dope boys and the pimps.
Yeah.
My mama put me in church every motherfucking Sunday and did the best possible job that she could do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was like, bro, man, I'm definitely artistic. How the fuck I'm gonna sell some art? Man, I'm finna use the other shit that I'm good at. And then, you know, I wanted to hoop. I was like, man, I ain't get tall enough. I ain't get big enough. This shit ain't gonna work. By 10th grade, I was like, man, fuck it. This rap shit, I love this shit.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying that to say, I met Ball and G. First time I met Ball and G, I was on a corner. At 18, I had went to the radio station and I had played all my music for him. I was already like touring with Gangsta Black and Player Fly.
Okay.
16, 17, I was opening up for them.
That's crazy.
This is facts. I'm not making this up. Gangsta Black stayed 3 houses from my great grandma's house.
Yeah.
Taylor Street, how you say Taylor all the time?
Yeah.
Taylor Street is tatted on my fucking arm. This is where my great grandma lived. So this is just natural how life went for me. He stays like 3-4 houses down. When he gets signed to 3-6 Mafia and Can It Be and all this shit happens, I'm young, you know, 9, 10, 11, looking like, what the fuck? Player Fly stays like 3-4 streets over.
Wow.
In South Memphis. So he gets signed, they go on the road, they start doing their thing. By the time I'm a teenager, now I'm rapping. And he's starting to, like, you know, peep me a little bit, see what I'm doing. But, you know, he doing his own big thing, like, right?
Yeah.
I end up catching up with a partner that stays, my guy Big Trey, he stayed the next street over. Didn't know it the whole time. I met him through somebody else in my hood in Orange Man. They like, you should meet this dude in South Memphis. He got a studio. Man, he'll probably love you. I go over there, first time, I say, how you stay a street over from Gangsta Black and my grandmama? We hit it off. Before you know it, I'm opening shows for Gangsta Black, the whole Chitlin circuit, him, Player Fly, Pastor Troy, all this. This is like 16, 17.
Wow.
Then we started doing like the Crunk Fest in Memphis and all this. So this was in Jeezy, Gotti, all these. This is when he first signed Starlito.
Yeah.
You know, All-Star Days,
Yeah,
Grey Goose
yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
All this shit I'm seeing firsthand.
Mm.
But at the same time, I'm catching the energy of the game.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, bro, I love this rap shit, but I also love the game. How I'm gonna finance this rap shit? And so I met Ball and G on the corner selling my CD. The name of my mixtape was Coming Out Hard Part 2.
Wow.
Swear to God, I can't make it up. Can't make it up. So he pulls up, Cadillac truck. I walk up, I'm seeing this Ball. I'm like, oh shit. It's me, 2D,
Yeah.
Coming Out Hard Part 2. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all shit. Woo, woo, woo. I don't know if he listened to it that time or not, but I seen him. Later on, I see MJG. So we just keep crossing paths in the street over time. Then I eventually figure out how to get on the radio. Dub helped me get on the radio. Drummer Boy hears about me. I start coming down her speed pass. I'm getting to it. When I start coming down here, I start linking with y'all.
Yeah.
And I started linking with goddamn, we just said his name. You know who I'm talking about. Burn One.
Burn One, yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
so Burn One introducing me to people. Corey Mo. Shout out to my guy Scotty. I meet Scotty at Burn One's crib.
Yep.
All this shit is happening. Drums linking me up with Ball again. And Ball, like, you know, I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Anything I can do to help, you know, I got you. So I do a couple shows open for them. Ball and G feature me on their projects. I gotta show them love because a lot of artists may throw you a bone, but they don't give you their platform. Like, hey man, come get on my shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Both of them did that for me, and I never forget it. So when you naming these names, I remember Tila. One time we talked on the phone for like 2 hours. He just giving me game, kicking shit. I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
He doing like, you know, like, so it means something to me to wave that banner because I grew up listening to that shit.
And that's some real shit because it seemed to me like a lot of the Memphis artists, unless they were a part of the same camps, they wasn't fucking with each other. They wasn't really doing music with each other. So, you know, like how you mentioned Gangsta Black, he was a part of the original 3-6 Mafia membership. You know,
Fly.
but yeah, when Player Fly was in there, Fly so high on Funky Town with them.
Come
Once
on,
I
man.
gotta smoke, snow and
You
sneeze
know
and
about
chalk.
that, man.
Come on, bro.
These I'm telling you, I'm 17, 18, Mississippi, Arkansas, weird ass towns in front of, you know, white and black people, hot. But you know this era.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? All that shit Boosie and Webby used to tour, Black and Fly used to tour. And these niggas was gods to these people. So it meant so much to be that young and had an opportunity to get to open up the stage and get on the microphone and kick my shit and try to gain some fans. And it taught me a lot early. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's ill. Nah, man. Memphis music is, you know, Memphis is I mean, I'm from Milwaukee. I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, but then all my family's in Memphis. So I pretty much was raised back and forth between Milwaukee and Memphis. I spent every summer up until like my sophomore year in high school when I really got good in football and was focused on that. I was in Memphis every summer. So
and see, that's how you so in tune.
Oh yeah,
with our dynamic with the Dolphs, with the Starlitos,
absolutely,
with all these types of artists because you was always in tune.
Oh yeah, I mean my grandmama lived off West Tread. You know,
come on, man, South Memphis.
Yeah, come on, shit, right off of like Florida and Macklemore. You know, my auntie Dorothy, who house I used to stay at every summer, she was right there in White Haven, Black Haven.
Black Haven.
I mean? So we used to walk over to the two malls that's right across the street from each other. Middlebrook, I think it's called, and I forget the name of the other one, but right over by Havenview Middle School, White Haven High School, right over by Cartoons. Like I remember when we was younger, bro, we used to me and my cousin Cello, we used to walk to Cartoons every Tuesday back then when the albums came out on Tuesday. So we would walk to Cartoons and we would get our tapes, get our CDs, you know.
Man,
all
you're
that,
taking me back, man.
Yeah,
a lot of people, and I'm it's just so many jewels I want to drop on y'all.
Yeah.
If people don't understand the history of Memphis, Texas, bro, these were like pipelines for independent hustlers.
Yeah.
The whole way I started really focusing on the music was out the trunk. And it was because the Forefathers, the DJ Squeakies, the 666 Mafias,
Yeah.
these people would sell hundreds of thousands of tapes
Yeah, bro.
and CDs, nigga,
Yeah.
they self. So my dynamic when I first fucking got in the game, that's why I look at this internet shit as easy. Niggas don't understand pressing up 5,000-10,000 CDs yourself.
Right.
Then saying, I don't give a fuck about a label. I'm trying to get $10 for every one of these.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get $5 for every one of these.
Yeah.
And then you go stand on the corner, you go spot to spot to spot, talking to people, conversating, running your mouth, trying to convince him that you the dopest nigga ever.
Yeah.
And that's how I started, because I was looking at them. I'm like, I ain't waiting on shit. So I'm gonna park, man. I had a 64 Impala at 16.
Huh.
So I'm parking my, you know, I knew my car was an eye catcher because Snoop was like one of my favorite niggas.
Yeah.
So I told my grandma, I was like, man, I don't want no regular car. I want an Impala. She was
Yeah.
about to retire, and she was like, I'm gonna try. And on everything, cause I'm raw. I don't give a fuck. Like, I tell people the exact truth. I have nothing to lie about. You can fact check everything I'm saying. My mama sent me like to a gang resistance camp in the summertime.
Yeah.
She was trying to keep me on the straight and narrow. Boom, I come back home in the driveway, 64 Impala. She finds it. She said she found it for $4,000. She spent some of her retirement money on it, surprised me. She was like, oh, I can't believe I finally got you to smile. So boom, I'm a 16-year-old, 64 Impala. I go start hustling, get my money up. I paint that bitch baby blue. I put rims on it. So the type of attention the car got me, I knew, hey, I'm going to use this to sell my fucking CD, because everywhere I park, boom, you going to come up.
Right.
Man, who is this in a fucking this young ass nigga? All right, boom, I got you. Hop in.
Yeah.
Give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna be your new favorite rapper.
I know you have some bump in it.
Come on, man. So that was my game plan. I'm saying that to say this type of environment breeded a lot of hustlers from my city, just like in Texas, because we looking at rap like, bro, if I sell X amount of copies, that's 50,000.
Right.
That's 100,000. That's whatever. So my early beginnings was based around it. Me, my partners, Josh, Webb, Fro, we would just go corner to corner, just hustling our CDs and trying to get people to listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then talking about like those mixtapes and out the trunk, I mean, you had like Paul and Juicy was dropping they own projects like that Paul 16. Like, man, come on.
Y'all don't understand legendary if you wasn't around for these moments. People be wondering why 360 is how 360 for the world even got a hold to them. These niggas dominated the city, the South.
Yeah.
And that's why you see them getting a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth run, because the sound was so influential. It just keeps getting reduplicated over and over. 30 years later, the same sound that dominated 30 years ago is the same sound you hear all these rappers trying to emulate right now.
That's why even too, you know, people that's on the outside looking in, when they see Juicy J and DJ Paul and they seem like they separated, I know they had some issues that they eventually resolved and everything, but the way that they always moved in the city, Juicy J had his own niche of fans and was doing his thing with his Chronicles of Juice Man mixtapes and all them different projects. And then Paul was dropping all of his mixtapes. And like I said, that Paul 16, like that's legendary. Known as the most, you know, as one of the most legendary mixtapes that bro dropped in Memphis, period. But then also Memphis has Selecto Hits.
Oh my God.
Had the distribution company. So like y'all didn't have to look outside for anybody. Y'all wasn't aspiring to go to New York and do, because it's like, shit, man, we got everything right here. And one thing that I always knew about Memphis growing up, when I would be there in the summers and I would trip out about, was that the radio stations played Memphis music.
Memphis shit. Yeah, so like I caught my first radio run, and I'm gonna be raw because I'm retired now. I'm just a player now. But when I was really in the midst of the pimping in the game, hardcore, I got my first song on the radio called Nonfiction. I was on the road living in New Orleans at the time. So it was the craziest shit ever, because I'm having to go back and forth trying to promote my little songs in Memphis at the same time I'm trying to, finance it with the game.
Yeah.
And so I remember hearing nonfiction K97 107. And just to give y'all insight and history on how legendary these shits be that I'm telling you, Devin's the same Devin Steele that I'm talking about that was running the radio then is now the program director here in Atlanta.
Word.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So just how history and how shit just transitioned itself. But anyway, I had that record. I had another big record with Don Tripp called Never Go Broke Again. Married to the Game obviously was on the radio a lot. I had a lot of records that I want to say that my city supported me at a time where man, it was hard to get 40, 50 spins a day. I was doing them type of numbers back then in my city. And, the opportunities like that gave me an opportunity to, kind of make a name for myself and get some of the love from the OGs that you mentioned. All the OGs. I mean, shout out to Criminal Man.
Oh, yeah.
He's also doing his thing with the movies now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Skinny Pimp. Shout out to Lil Chat. It's so many. R.I.P. Gangsta Boo.
Yeah, for real.
Every one of these people I'm naming at some point in what I've been doing showed me love and support. And I will say, for as divided as Memphis can seem, from my standpoint, I can honestly say it was a lot of forefathers that came before me. Not saying any of them owed me anything, but they showed me some love.
Yeah.
And that in itself is when you ain't got nobody showing you how to do this shit every step of the way, sometimes the best thing you can get from a motherfucking support. Money can't even help you.
Yeah.
Because like I know, this shit is challenging.
Yeah.
You trying to get paid off your creativity, bro.
Yeah.
And for our culture, a lot of us don't got what you got, Spitty. A lot of us don't got business sense. So you can be as creative and inspired as you want to.
Yeah.
If that shit ain't generating no income.
Yeah, that's real. Because cats don't know. I mean, think about it. Early in the game, cats didn't know what publishing was. Cats didn't know how to get residual payments from, like getting played on the radio or
that whole run that you talking about where I was doing what I was doing. I really didn't understand it, and I'm a smart nigga.
Yeah.
But I was in the street so much I wouldn't sit my mind down long enough to calibrate and care enough about that. I was trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
But you moving in real time.
Yeah. No,
sure. At that time, I'm just like, bro, somebody book me. A deal gonna come regardless. This shit dope. You ain't worrying about exactly where the return gonna come from.
Yeah.
Now, I'm like, everything gotta be accounted for.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Too Deep, when was the first time you knew that you had a gift to gab, that you had a gift with your vernacular and with the words?
Early. Now we get to some meat and potatoes. Early, bro. Like, I was probably 12 first time I seen the Mac. And Goldie and the character that he was playing in this movie was so charismatic to me. It was epic.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was a psychologist as a kid, swear to God. First album, my niggas laughed at me. I was like 12 and I was like, my first album gonna be called Wow, Words of Wisdom. This is a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm going to school drawing pictures like of a pimp with a cane and making the cane be the I and the back of him be the P. And I'm like, I'm gonna have a label called International Pimp Records. Yeah. This is all I'm talking at 12. So this shit, like the whole dynamic of being this charming, charismatic dude who all the girls like, loved it from day one. So I would say about around 12-ish, 13-ish, I just knew I had something. I knew like every Sunday I go to church and I play the drums, the girls like me. Every time I go to school and I crack jokes and I always got the funny shit to say, the girls like me. And I'm small, so I know my angle ain't gonna be, I can't be the bully. That ain't my thing.
Yeah.
But I got this mouthpiece. And I could talk you out of anything if you give me 36 seconds. So once I realized that, I was like, oh, I need to lean into this. You know what I'm saying? I knew I can't run away from nothing that I'm naturally gifted at.
Yeah.
The average motherfucker, God may give one gift. I'm like, I got like 3-4 of these motherfuckers. I got this art shit. I got this mouthpiece. These bitches like me. Man, I can rap. Man, this what I'ma roll with.
Yeah.
I'd rather take my chances with this than working for a motherfucker. Yeah. However this shit play out, I'm standing on, I ain't putting nothing above the shit that I wake up and I feel like this what I want to do forever.
Yeah. And you played the drums when you was young?
Facts. So you getting fun facts out of me. So from 12, maybe from 11, 12 to maybe 18, I played the drums in church.
Huh.
So like, yeah, I was self-taught, but my daddy was like a drum major for Melrose. That's a school in Orange Mound where I'm from.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just was good at it. I taught myself that, and it actually was like my first hustle. Cause like in church, they would pay me a little something every Sunday. So it was like my first piece of touching some money.
Yeah.
And naturally my mom was gonna make me go to church no matter what. Rain,
Yeah.
sleet, snow, Sunday school, my mama didn't play about that. So I think that was the first thing that also kind of like set off in me, like I had liked money. And so once I understood the concept, okay, I get paid to do this. All right, what if I hustle this too? What if I do this and do that too? And I think that was kind of like the start of like ambition. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like anything I could do, like if I got a skill,
Yeah.
I'd rather get paid for whatever skill I got than be working for a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's crazy to learn that and have that understanding at such a young age because I mean like was anybody around you on the entrepreneur tip? Like was they, you know what I mean? Like was you seeing that close up? I mean, besides like seeing, cats in the neighborhood and shit like that, getting it how they was getting it?
Not really. Other than my uncle, I had an uncle Theodore King. We call him Uncle Ted. He was the only one from my family that was like a legitimate businessman, so to speak. He owned a like a gas station and a convenience store in North Memphis, and then he got another one in Binghamton called Kings. The name of my family originally is called the King family.
Okay.
So he was like maybe the only one that I knew close enough that I was like, okay, man, it's dope. My uncle's a real entrepreneur. We had a family reunion at his house. He got like horses and old schools, and
Yeah.
that was motivating to me. But outside of that, I really can't say. I think it was I was born in the same generation you was.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the people that looked like me. It was
Yeah.
the hip hop generation.
Yeah.
It was the Michael Jordans. It was all that. When you see somebody who like, man, this motherfucker naturally gifted, talented, they took their skill set, made their own way, they doing what they love. The Master P's, you know what I'm saying? Like the 3-6 Mafias, them people was like gods to a nigga.
Yeah.
And a nigga was like, man, yo, if they can get it out the mud, I know I can get it out the mud. I just didn't, I never had it in me to just work hard for somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
And I learned that early, like you said, the gift of gab. I caught that early, and shit, the rest history.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
So I remember at an early age, growing up in the mill and being in my neighborhood, and Milwaukee is on the same tip as Memphis, like with the pimping and with just cats using they gift the gab to be able to get whatever they want to get,
Yep.
and being able to get a woman or being able to get anybody
Yeah.
to do what they need them
What
to
they
do
needed them to do.
to be able to make some
That's
money.
what people don't understand about the pimping. Is like the pimping or the player shit or whatever type of terminology you want to get it to is just really a philosophy about game and how you identify with handling any situation. You
Yeah.
need game in the game of life regardless.
Nah,
It
for
ain't got to
sure.
be woman related.
Yeah.
So when you grow up in the Milwaukees and the Memphises, Chicagos,
Yeah.
Oaklands,
Detroit.
Detroit's, nigga, it's certain places where, man, they cultivated era after era, generation after generation. If it's niggas passing game down and giving, the shit that you gonna need to separate you from a lame motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so, like I say, I didn't see. Now I definitely saw more of them, like
Yep,
the
yep.
the pimps, the hustlers, the niggas who like made self-made rich niggas coming through, riding good. We talking Memphis, 90s, 2000s, man. It's some heavyweights
Yeah.
came out of my city that was doing some crazy, crazy shit. And so I'm like, man, I always did know though I didn't just want to be in the streets forever. I always wanted to live off my talent, but I knew I was gonna have to get my hands dirty to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I was seeing both sides of it. Where in my neighborhood in Milwaukee, I was seeing the cats with the fur coats on, with the lax, and I'm like, damn, like a couple women with them and shit. And I'm like, yo, I want to do what, like I want to do what bruh doing. Like I want to
Mhm.
shit. I want to drive a lack. I want to drive a nice whip, bruh.
You
Like
dig?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
seeing that,
yeah.
and then I would go to Memphis and I would see the same thing, but then my aunt owned a beauty salon.
Mm.
One of my uncles, he painted houses
Dope.
and could fix cars and did some everything.
Right.
My other uncle, he laid concrete. And
Mm.
so I would go and work, like I would go and sweep my auntie beauty salon on certain days. Then I would go and lay concrete with my uncle. I would go
Whole
and
time
paint
they
houses.
teaching you. You don't even peep it yet.
Yo, I didn't even know how much game I was getting, but then I started understanding like, okay, I can't for me, getting in the streets ain't for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, this ain't for me. But then and then
Hold
I
up. Let's pause there.
Yeah.
He just gave y'all a gym and didn't even try.
Mm.
Niggas need to learn when being in the streets ain't for you.
That's real.
If you got something you gotta give, I ain't even saying being in the streets is for anybody.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to inspire a nigga to get in the street from nothing I'm trying
Yeah.
to tell
Nah,
him.
you
But I'm
telling your
not.
story.
But understand, bro. When you got God given gift intelligence and an opportunity to be something epic, bro, you not wasted in the streets thinking that shit is cool. 20 through 30 go by fast as shit.
Yeah.
And it get real interesting when you wasted your life in the streets when you get 33, 35, 38, 42, and you ain't learned nothing else other than the same shit that you got out the streets.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this time to give y'all a gym while he just dropped the gym, let y'all know that it's important to understand, bro, like, I know I got something, and I'm not finna waste it playing in the street.
Yeah. And I was seeing a lot of the big homies that was in my neighborhood. I was seeing a lot of them cats dying. So I was like, all right, like shit, cuz had a run, but damn, like he got up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Cats was dying left and right in my neighborhood. And I'm like, all right, this might not be for me. And I'll tell you the one time that put the true entrepreneur battery in my back was that my football coach drove me home one time and we pull up in the neighborhood and I just remember he was just looking like he was just shocked at what he was seeing. Girls jumping double dutch in the street, cats playing football, hoop. I mean, like shit, my block was active, so he was like, what you do every day after after practice, after school? And I was like, shit, I come out here, I play football with my homies, and I'll be out here until the street lights come on, and then I go in the house, do my homework. He was like, yeah, can I speak to your moms? And I was like, all right. Went to the crib. I'm like, Coach TJ want to talk to you. She's like, what this white man want to talk to me about? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, hey, do you mind if after football practice a couple nights out the week, if he come to my house and we watch game film and all that type of stuff? So she was like, yeah, it's cool. So then he had a landscaping company and he would take me to his house to watch film and all that, but then we would go and do these landscaping jobs. And he would pick me up on the weekends. We would go and do these landscaping jobs. And I was like, yo, like between him having me do that, my uncles and all that, having me paint, lay concrete and all that, I was like, yo, I can damn near, I figured out, like, man, I can almost do anything that
you want to set your mind to.
Yeah.
That's another gym. You street niggas, you don't even really want to be street niggas. You just really want to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah, no.
Once you realize that you just switching a product, it's all it is, bro.
Yeah.
A real street nigga, if you really just you in the streets, cause what, nigga, you want you some money.
Yeah.
And there's plenty ways to get some money, but niggas don't be having the resources
Yep.
or the inspiration to realize. Cause if a nigga like ran into an uncle of yours and he was like, yo, yeah, man, I do $350 a year laying concrete. The same dope boy that you looking at like he got such and such car, your uncle might have a 3 times better house because his shit better on paper.
Yeah.
He might have 3-4 of them cars. He might have all kind of other properties and investments outside of him because he wasn't in the street going back and forth to jail to get his.
Right.
He was out here just constantly building.
Yeah. And you not making the money and then having to put a gang of the money back in to
Back
re-up.
in to re-up.
And then, you know what I mean? So like I'm seeing that, and to your point, to what you saying, bruh, my uncle Tyrone, man, this cat always had one of the biggest houses. He's always had like 5, 6, 7, 10 cars. You know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
work on cars, and he'll buy like some old school whip and had it for 5 or 6 years, just slowly working on it and all that. We like, man, why you got this junk in this yard? But then after some years, what was some junk looked like a brand new car, and
He done made it an investment.
yeah. So
Yeah.
to your point, I was blessed to be able to see both sides of it. Like, all right, if I do it this way, like my partners in the street, damn, I might only get like a 5-year run. But then I'm looking at my aunt who then had a beauty salon for the past 30 years now. You know what I mean? My uncle been laying concrete for 20 something years now, and then lived in Cali, New York, then lived all over the place, you know what I mean, where all his jobs took him. And I'm like, damn, you know what? Like, I'm gonna get on this side of the fence.
Yeah.
And like I
Cause
said,
on the long term, it just don't make sense.
yeah, yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, man, like a lot of people don't have the resources, don't understand that you good at something outside of what's right there in front of you. You know, a lot of us, we be stuck in these environments that we come from. And I'm even glad that now we have the internet and we got social media to be able to see so many other things, because like shit, when I was growing up, it wasn't no way to see even other opportunities in life besides if you had people
That was
around
doing it.
that was doing it. And
Or even just see what was going on in another city. I
Yeah.
remember when, hey, bro, you going to Miami for the first time. You had no idea what it was going to be on, like, other than television.
yeah,
Now you can see what a person doing in Miami like 10 minutes ago,
yeah,
yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, that's big for people.
yeah. Nah, for sure, for sure. Now, do you remember your first time that you had a woman do something and bring some money back to you?
I do. I do. Okay. So I was probably 18. I think I told this story before on another podcast, but I was 18. I opened up for Lil Flip at Cactus Jacks
Okay.
in Memphis, Tennessee. I opened up, I performed. At the end of the show, a girl had stuck around for me and she was just digging me. Uh Wound up chopping it up with her, and I'm like, look, she told me she worked at the Platinum Rose in Memphis.
Hmm.
I was like, man, look, you been screaming you love that pimping shit so long. You need to try your look. She was older than me. She was like 24.
Yeah.
I'm 18. And I shot my shot. So, I ain't really know all the rules and the ethics and all that, but I know, man, hey, listen, I get this money, it's on and popping.
Yeah.
So, like I told the story before, I think she might have gave me like $125. It was shit.
Yeah.
But I had called my partner, you know what I'm saying, one of my best friends, Josh. And man, shit. I told him, man, let's go out to eat. I think we had went to Applebee's. You know what I'm saying? Red
Yeah.
Lobster, some shit. I can't remember. And man, I took my partner to go get something to eat. I'm like, man, I'm pimping now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she gave me the money.
Yeah.
And man, it was crazy because she was just playing with me. She knew I was just a young nigga trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Looking back. But she told me, she was like, I always knew, like, you had it in you. I knew eventually you was gonna really figure this shit all the way out. You know what I'm saying?
Word. And I know that had to I know that had to like turn it like almost into like an addicting type of feeling. Like, wait a minute. So if I say some real shit, I can actually get somebody to move how I want them to move.
Yeah, that was like highly addictive. Cause at this point I'm like 18. My whole focus and goal was like be a platinum rapper and all this soul shit. And it was just that era. So I was like, man, like this is really something I could see me excel at. Cause like, man, I just never had a hard time with women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like once I figured out, okay, how to handle all the aspects and sides of women, and women are different. That take experience. But as far as like reeling a female in or attracting them, I knew that wasn't hard. It was just gonna be finding a way to be like, man, I ain't fucking with you unless it's on this.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Turning off all my emotions outside of this and being like, bitch, I don't care about your pussy. I don't care about laying up with you. I don't care about hanging out with you. If we ain't both focused on the same itinerary,
Yeah.
you got to get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
And once you got them attributes, you become a cold motherfucker.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand that, like, real pimping, like, you not supposed to fuck the broad. Like, you not supposed to, like you got a lot of cats who think that they pee, think that they moving in that way, but they kissing the bras all in the mouth, making love to them.
That's
like,
what I say. Fucking your broad, it's your broad. You do what you want with your broad. The problem is doing too much. Everything you got to do in life, you got to have balance with it, right? So if that's your bitch, she's down for you, she's with you, she's doing what you're supposed to do. You definitely ain't supposed to be out there free fucking on no, chicks that ain't doing nothing for you. But at the same time, the difference that makes a player, a pimp, like I say, I'm speaking in hindsight. The things that make them so cold is that they had a discipline to understand. And so, it take a cold motherfucker to be okay with the girl who man, you might have a beautiful whatever looking chick and she been with you 2-3 years and she fine and you like, man, I don't know if I got it in me to send her in this hotel room and she fucks such and such and come back out and still look at her the same way.
Yeah.
You can't mix your emotions too much if you gonna become that person.
Yeah.
And that's where the balance comes, because some guys got it in them to be able to stick their dick in the broad and still turn their emotions back off. Some niggas don't. And if you know you ain't got that in there, I would advise you not to be constantly fucking on that chick, because you ain't got the mental capacity to differentiate your emotions from business. And you're going to have to be cold when it comes to business. You're going to have to know, man, there's going to be times you might not touch her for a month. Just because, like, nah, you ain't on my program.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't on my program the right way, I'm not touching you. I'm not giving you no type of parts of me. I'm not giving you no time. Bitch, I'm going to smoke a blunt with you. I'm out the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's also times where you like, man, I'm still the dude, the king that you want to spend time with for this night, for this day, for this week. It's all about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's balance.
Yeah. I remember reading Iceberg Slim book, Pimp, and he talked about how he was able to, I think he made his transition to get into that world while he was locked up, and he was hearing cats telling these stories about how they was, getting their money like out of these women, and how you had to be emotionless with it. And he said that he learned how to like make himself like stone cold, cold hearted, with it. Like you really have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. I got a song called Iceberg, in reference to Iceberg Slim with MJG on it. One of favorite joints, y'all check that out when you get a chance. To ride what you said off of Iceberg, that's something I had to develop over time too, because I come from being the friendly, funny, I can get along with everybody type of dude. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, to a degree, women love it. Women are attracted to the fact you can make them laugh, you can entertain them, you cool. But if you too much of that all the time, now she thinks she can play with you.
Yeah.
And so I will build these relationships, and a motherfucker will be down a year or 10 months or 6 months. And, on my end, I'm thinking it's all cool. Everything seemed cool. But that's where the iceberg part of you got to come out, because you don't understand yet how cold a woman is till I start going through, damn, she ain't give me no sign. She got all her shit and dipped in the middle of the night. I fucked her 2 days ago and she was telling me I was the coldest nigga she ever was with, nigga. Yeah. And now this bitch disappeared and I'm blocked. That's some cold shit to deal with, especially when you was depending on that $600 you thought she was gonna make tonight. You feel me? So once you go through that enough, you get to understanding like, oh, this whole shit can shift at any moment. Now nigga cold hearted. Now nigga second guessing everything. Now nigga optimizing every possible outcome of every situation. When you cold with your pimping, you gotta be like a natural form of AI. And I say a natural form of AI because when you run something through AI, they thinking of all possible outcomes. So the pimping, it got to be the same way, nigga, because your whole energy, your whole existence is dependent on the thought process of other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So if you ain't cold and calculated, nigga, you gonna get outmastered, nigga. You
Yeah.
gonna get outplayed.
Yeah. Yeah, I wore my P hoodie today, you know what I'm saying, because I knew you was coming. You feel me?
You did.
But yo, what's the difference between a pimp and a player? Because you got a lot of cats who they might got a lot of hoes, you know, that they fucking with and all that, and they claim that they pimping, but there's a true distinct difference
It
between the
is.
two. Can you
It
speak on
is.
that?
It is. First of all, again, I would say I'm just a player now because the way I used to move, totally different from how I move now. I'm just always a dude who play, and I always see myself dealing with multiple women. But what I will say is, when you really on pimping type of time, it's rules, codes, ethics, morals, standards that you will not go against. Like I say, it's certain shit that hey, bitch, if you ain't got this much money, I ain't fucking with you. If you ain't doing this, I ain't fucking with you. It's codes to how you deal with other men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you were to take one of they women, it's shit that you gotta respect as far as the game and things that you don't go against. You definitely shouldn't be selling dope and robbing and scamming and doing all kind of extra shit. If you say you really some pimping, your game should speak for itself and you should move accordingly as a gentleman. A player, I think a player, a boss player, which is where I would say my game then went to, is like, man, you not only interested in dealing with just women and shit like that. Like, you trying to be an entrepreneur, you're trying to create sources of income outside of just what you doing with your game. And your whole focus ain't focused on the bitch actually having sex for money. Like, cause when you pimping, like, you know what I'm saying, you probably gonna wanna just fuck with prostitutes.
Yeah.
When you a player, you trying to play on every possible scenario, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got some hoes, I got some real estate.
Yeah.
I got some, man, I got my hands in a whole lot of shit. You got a lot more freedom to what you trying to do, man. When you pimping, a lot of niggas don't even respect you unless, a bitch went outside and stood on the track for it and whatever. But, I think it's higher levels of the pimping.
Yeah.
So, that's what I feel like when you get in a boss player mode, because, man, Hugh Hefner, it wasn't nothing but a glorified version of a pimp. It was just legal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you master your game, you start understanding that there's so many ways to skin a cat other than just trying to convince a woman to go fuck somebody for $4,000.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we in an era where a trick will send a bitch $1,000 for a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or a live convo. The game didn't change in so many levels because we lust and desire things at an all-time high that we can't have.
Yeah.
So now people find things way more valuable than they once did because they like, I can see it, but I can't.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
All you got to do is find a way to put a price tag on this. So for a woman, she can dominate this day and age because she knows so many motherfuckers that never got to touch or value her.
Yeah. And Pimp C told us pimping ain't dead. It just went to the web.
Man, it just went to the web. He was preaching that shit a decade before it even happened, but that's where we at now, bro. We wouldn't see as many of these rich OnlyFans chicks if it were not for the fact that that's where it is. You could put that same girl on the street corner. I guarantee she ain't finna check, $200,000-300,000. She ain't got the hard soul or mentality to go through what it's gonna take to get it.
Yeah.
But because she's glorified through the internet, it's unlimited what she could get.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And then with simp culture now,
Woo!
at an all-time high.
Oh my God.
Like you just mentioned, like these guys sending a woman crazy amount of money just for a picture. Or I'm seeing dudes online now preaching, hey man, just send her $300, just send her $500, because she a woman and because she beautiful and because she existing. it's like the simp culture is taking over, man.
Hey man, you just said some shit right there. Listen, man. One thing y'all ain't gotta ever worry about me saying game for sale behind is just randomly sending the bitch some money.
Yeah.
Like I told the nigga before, if you want to send somebody I fuck with some money, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna never recommend that being a smart choice to how you want to live your life. Oh, I just like you. Here's $1,000.
Man.
Hey man, if that's how you start, that's how you gonna finish. She looking at you like a bankroll or a bill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a female that like you, now you ain't an expense to her. You expensive to her.
Right.
And she know that for your time, for your energy, hey man, I'm trying to do whatever I gotta do to fuck with this king. If not, you're in it, you know what I'm saying? You're an expense. My nigga, she gonna charge you every time you wanna get some of her air. And she don't like you enough to not charge you, bro. And that's really all this shit boiled down to. Shout out to my nigga Young Goldie. I think he came through here before too.
Game guy
You know,
Goldie,
I
that's my
fuck with
guy.
Goldie. You know what I'm saying? Because he preaching the same message. It's like, man, bro, if she don't like you, if she ain't naturally fucking with you, what the fuck are you doing, sir?
Yeah.
Now, if you just like blowing money because you just got so much you want to blow, that's your choice. Just don't act surprised when you figure out, nigga, it ain't no fucking love connection.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And a lot of people don't, a lot of guys don't know how to talk to women. And so they come in leading with their wallet.
Yes, sir.
And so that's where you get all of these women where you see them online ranting, talking about, if you gonna call me and you hear me talking about I'm getting my nails done or my hair done and you not sending no money, then just lose my number. Or them chicks that will just outright.
That's the culture
just,
now.
Yeah.
That's literally become and it's again, it's funny to me because I remember when I first got into the game, like every girl used to want to hide that shit.
Right.
Like I would talk to these girls and I would be trying to get them to want to dance or want to do this, that, and the other. And you know, they like, man, I don't want my auntie to know. I don't want my uncle to know. I can't put no picture on no internet. Like it was way more reserved.
Yeah.
Man, now you meet a chick, she could be fresh 18, 19. She been setting her shit up to be half naked on the internet and do whatever. And she don't give a fuck what family member see it. Mama might be on that type of time still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's a different era, it's a different culture, and it shifted so much to whole culture now that that's why I do a lot of what I do on the internet, because I feel like, man, to offset simp culture, you need player energy. You need a nigga giving you some game who ain't just like, oh my God, this bitch is so beautiful. I'm in love today and I'm finna give her everything I got in basement. No, nigga, you tripping.
Yeah.
But you don't hear it from enough respectable places for a motherfucker to take it serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, for sure. And then shit, you got certain artists that's rapping about it and rapping about, spinning a bag on a chick and all that. So then cats get to listening to the music, cats get to seeing, a lot of these ball players, like how they moving. And some of them.
So now that becomes the cool.
Yeah, now
that's all it is. It becomes the cool.
Yeah.
If we go back to 70s and 70s culture, that shit wasn't cool.
Nah.
If that was who you were, you was on that type of time. Now the white man, that was cool for the white man. We gonna break on him.
Yeah.
But for our culture, everybody wanted to be player. Yeah. Everybody wanted to get fresh and go dance and party and kick shit and get high together and shit. It was all about being player and cool.
Yeah.
Now we just got to an era where trick culture is cool. So man, I'm working hard. I'm doing this. I'm trying to impress the bitch. I'm trying to get the girl to want me. Yeah.
Like let me prove to her that I'm worthy for her.
Yeah.
Like that's the cat's mindset when they, trying to get at a chick. Game for sale. Now you've been building that platform. You've been online just kicking real game. It's been a bunch of stuff that I've reposted, that I've posted on my story, and I'm just like, amen. Like, like thank you for somebody to, be kicking some real game. But
for sure,
what made you decide to take your talents, to the internet and share some of this game that a lot of these brothers, need to hear? Great
question. So the term game for sale, although it might have probably been said by others before me, I just liked, the idea of how that phrase, what it represented for me, because I always felt like I had a lot of game, even young, and I'm trying to get paid for my game.
Yeah.
So I would say, man, I probably was screaming game for sale 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You could probably go on Google 20 years ago. I got T-shirts with game for sale on them and hats,
That's
shit
right.
like that. I had been screaming like this is my movement. I got chains and shit from a decade ago with game for sale on them. All kind
Yeah.
of shit like this is always my thing. So I was understanding that we were in a dynamic where social media was changing, kind of
Mm.
like right before the pandemic.
Yep.
And I had my original page that, what I'm saying, everybody kind of knew whatever about me on, but I was trying to figure out the algorithm was changing. This is right before Reels hit.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole dynamic of the internet was changing. You couldn't, if you start buying fake followers and likes and shit, they started doing shit to your account for trying to
Mm-hmm.
cheat the game. So I'm like, bro, I need to take my account, switch it, make this shit about one account like more of a meme page that ain't necessarily about me. And then I was like, I'm gonna make an artist page, but it ain't gonna be just about me rapping. I want to show people my personality.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give people something of value, which is the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be more entertaining because I felt like, man, me just get on the internet showing I rap, this ain't finna work no more. Everybody's rapping.
Yeah.
Like people need to get in tune with me as a human, as a person, what I represent. And so my whole shit was like, the brand has to outgrow the rapper.
Mm.
R.I.P. the rapper too deep, in a sense.
Mm.
If I'm gonna get on the internet, I need to really buy into becoming a creator because that's what I am anyway. I paint, I rap, I do a lot of creative ass shit. So let me just stop thinking like a rapper and start thinking like, how can I creatively make people want to fuck with me?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? While being myself. And so I started doing different things. I was doing I got like videos where I was doing like making phone calls. And
Mm-hmm.
the phone calls would be kicking game. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh man, they motherfucker might have did some weird shit. I'm like, hey man, this your player partner, man. I'm just calling you, checking on you, man. You need some game. Woo woo woo. I was doing that. And I still do that from time to time. And I was just kicking messages. And I was just like, the reaction was just so thorough because the shit that I would say to me is just normal everyday knowledge. But I started understanding how much it was undervalued because it ain't just like a lot of people being themselves out no more.
Yeah.
And I knew that my past was documented and a lot of people fuck with me because of what I've done in the past. And just they was gonna share it and appreciate it. And over time, shit, we down there at 100K now. Like this shit didn't really grew. Even the meme page, it's already over 100 page. Like my shits get shared all the time. Like crazy shit, bro.
Nah, for sure. And do you have people like hitting you in the DM, sharing scenarios with you and asking you for advice?
Definitely. I actually get paid to do consultations. Like I would say at least 3-4 times every month, somebody might hit me up and be like, hey, I want to do a consultation. Shoot me whatever they shoot me. And man, I'm going to chop it up with you for 30 minutes and let you ask me and dig in about whatever you want to give about. And then I go live sometimes. So a lot of times that's what kind of got my page popping too. I used to have a lot of live conversations with women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so a lot of people will want to see me pop shit in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to show motherfuckers, you can have a conversation with a woman without getting at her per se, but making her feel comfortable and her just feeling your vibe and then getting in touch with who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of them conversations will go viral too because, people would just say, wow, shit, the pandemic was going on. Motherfuckers is in the house, need people to watch and talk to, and people telling their stories. So I just think, man, it was important to create a space and a lane for that. And I feel like now it's so niche driven to where I'm in my own space.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure. Because during this time, this pandemic time was also when Kevin Samuels started blowing up.
Facts.
And he was giving his perspective from one side of it, him being an image consultant and somebody who was sharing some of that just deep reality, harsh realities, like giving women harsh realities of, the way that they was thinking. And so now we have it where whether it's men and women want to get perspective, want to get game
Exactly.
and understand like, okay, is the way that I'm thinking even the right way to be moving? Or, like we definitely in an
But
interesting
man,
space.
we in an interesting space. Everybody's thirsty for it. That's why you see so many male female debates
Yeah.
because everybody got their own interpretation of what a relationship is supposed to be. So my concepts is interesting because they getting uh they getting a perspective from a motherfucker who a player who ain't like necessarily in no regular square traditional relationships, but I got so much insight on women, and I'm also a male who understands like the dynamic of